Imagine a world where your everyday assets, like real estate, stocks, or even fine art, aren't locked away in dusty vaults or tied up in endless paperwork, but instead flow freely in the digital economy, generating yield around the clock. That's the revolution Plume Network is spearheading, and today, we're diving deep into why this blockchain could redefine wealth building for generations. Welcome to the generational wealth community, your pathway from knowledge to legacy. We don't chase hype, we decode the market. Let's start at the beginning with Plume's history. Plume Network emerged as a pioneering force in the blockchain space, officially launching its mainnet in the summer of 2025. Founded by CEO Chris Yin, a visionary with a background in tech and finance, Plume was designed from the ground up to bridge the gap between traditional assets and decentralized finance. It's backed by heavyweight investors like Apollo and WisdomTree. The network quickly raised over $30 million in funding, attracting more than 200 ecosystem partners within its first year. By late 2025, Plume had already tokenized assets worth hundreds of millions, establishing itself as a key player in real-world asset integration. Fast forward to early 2026, and Plume achieved a landmark milestone by becoming registered with the SEC as a transfer agent for tokenized securities, a move that solidified its commitment to regulatory compliance while expanding its reach. This history isn't just about rapid growth. It's about laying a foundation for sustainable innovation in a market hungry for trustworthy on-chain solutions. Now, what problems does Plume solve? The traditional finance world is riddled with inefficiencies. Think illiquid assets that take weeks to trade, high barriers to entry for everyday investors, and a lack of transparency that breeds mistrust. Real-world assets, or RWAs, like private credit, commodities, or real estate, often sit idle, generating minimal returns without easy access to global markets. Plume tackles these head-on by providing a public, EVM-compatible blockchain optimized for tokenizing and managing these assets. It eliminates the need for cumbersome intermediaries, making assets liquid and composable in DeFi protocols. For instance, users can now lend against tokenized real estate or earn yield from credit card receivables without ever leaving the blockchain. This solves the fragmentation in the RWA space, where previous attempts on general-purpose chains like Ethereum struggled with scalability and compliance. Plume's modular infrastructure ensures security, speed, and adherence to regulations, turning what was once a niche experiment into a scalable reality for institutional and retail users alike. In essence, it democratizes access to high-yield opportunities that were previously reserved for the elite. What does Plume bring to the market that's truly game-changing? Unlike generic blockchains, Plume is the first permissionless, full-stack network purpose-built for RWA finance, or RWAfi. It introduces features like Nest Vaults, a flagship yield protocol where users can deposit stablecoins and earn real-world yields from diversified portfolios. Think private credit, U.S. Treasuries, and payment financing, often delivering around 9% APY without the volatility of pure crypto plays. With over 280,000 RWA users and a total value locked exceeding $167 million as of March 2026, Plume boasts the largest community in its niche. It brings seamless distribution through partnerships with giants like BlackRock, Apollo, and Mercado Bitcoin, tokenizing over $40 million in assets from Brazil alone. Plume's token, Plume, powers governance, staking, and ecosystem incentives. With a market cap around $52 million and a fully diluted valuation of about $110 million, what sets it apart is its crypto-first approach. It doesn't just digitize old finance. It creates new use cases, like privacy rails and compliance staking, blending DeFi speed with TradFi reliability. Recent expansions, such as integrating Nest Vaults on Solana, allow users to earn yields directly in stablecoins like USDC. Bridging ecosystems and boosting adoption, in a crowded market, Plume stands out by turning regulation into an opportunity, fostering trust and innovation where others falter. Looking ahead, what's the forecast for Plume? The RWA sector is exploding, with projections estimating trillions in tokenized assets by 2030. Plume is well positioned to capture a significant share, thanks to its robust pipeline of $5 billion in assets and growing TVL. which surged from mere thousands in early 2025 to hundreds of millions today. Analysts predict steady growth for the Plume token, with end of 2026 prices potentially ranging from about 1 cent to over 3 cents, driven by increasing adoption and unlocks. CEO Chris Yin anticipates 10 to 20 times growth in value in users through 2026. Fueled by institutional inflows and ecosystem expansions, recent metrics show Plume surpassing networks like XRP Ledger in on-chain RWA value, holding over $74 million in late February 2026. Challenges like token supply increases, circulating supply could rise 41% by year's end, may introduce pressure, but organic demand from regulatory wins and partnerships should counterbalance it. Overall, the outlook is bullish. Plume could lead the RWAfi wave, transforming how we build and preserve wealth in a tokenized future. Subscribe for daily recaps, drop a comment on your biggest takeaway, and turn on notifications. We do a crypto news video every morning and a deep dive every afternoon. Let us know in the comments any subjects you'd like us to cover. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only and not financial or investment advice. Crypto is volatile. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Do your own research.